Hey guys, this is Kim from GosuGamers. We're live here at day 2 at DreamHack Bucharest. I'm here with Bulba from Team Tinker. Bulba, how's it?
It's going pretty well, Skim.
Thanks. This is your first time in Romania, so how's your experience here so far?
The hotel was really, really nice. The city's kind of different. I don't think I've been in a city like this before. The buildings are all like kind of architecture. I'd assume it's pretty interesting walking down the city and stuff. The statues, etc. So the city's pretty cool.
Have you been to the city last night?
No, we didn't go. We went the first day we came that night.
Okay. So you missed out on all those dressed up people?
On the cosplayers or whatever?
No, there's also Halloween.
We didn't. We just stayed in the hotel. We were too tired.
So what do you think of the cosplayers then? Because I think there's a contest going on.
They're pretty good, man.
Yeah. They are. So
in a different kind of way. I don't know if it's about the costumes, you know.
Yeah, that's a do.
People appreciate them for something else.
Their effort.
Hard work.
Dedication. Hashtag something that. So let's talk about you then, Team Tinker. This is your second LAN only. The first LAN, Starter, it probably didn't go as expected. What kind of experiences did you take from that LAN?
It was our first LAN together as a team. Things came up that we didn't really go through online, which is normal for a team. We definitely didn't prepare as we were very overconfident in the LAN as well because we were doing very well online. And we go to the LAN, we were expecting like a top 3, and then we lose to Alliance, and we beat Alliance like maybe 12 game, like we were like 12-0 versus them online, or 13-0, and then we like the one game we lose versus them is like the most important game of the LAN, which kind of sucks. So we got quite outpicked, I think, in that game, and then the secret games they just outplayed us. So it was a learning experience, I guess, for everyone.
Did you also learn something on a personal level, or was it just like everybody's pretty much the same as they're online?
I think everyone just played worse than they did. I think everyone made a lot more mistakes than they normally do.
And do you kind of like, is there somebody on your team that just talks about that kind of stuff, like okay guys, we all screwed up, or is it just a collective decision?
I think everyone just mentions it or something collectively, not really one person. Our coach sometimes like tells us about the game right after what happened, etc. You guys did that, you guys did that wrong. So yeah.
Speaking of your coach, how is he helping you guys? I know that he's been with you on Team Liquid already. So Quaiko also mentioned that he's also helping communicate with you guys, but what kind of work does he do?
He helps me mostly in terms of the drafting. I think that's what you have to use a coach most for, like an analysis and all those kind of things. Like, because we're not able to watch every game. We're playing like yesterday's Navi versus Empire game. Everyone was so like kind of tired when he came home. He was watching replays and like writing down stuff about them, about the game. So it helps a lot in that regard. It takes stress off of us for like thinking about others. I think it's a great help. And when he was on with me and Quaiko at Liquid, he helped a lot. I think. I think one of the reasons we actually did so well at TI4 was because of the drafts. I think we were ahead of a lot of the teams on the heroes that were strong. I think we were the only team at the start that was first facing Skyrath Mage every game. I think because I knew that we were practicing like before, and then he told me like, and then because I was picking the hero a lot because I loved it. So he's like, that hero is really strong. We should focus a lot on that hero. And then I was like, yeah, I agree with you. And we first faced Skyrath every game at TI. So like those here, it's like trends and all these things, like, and also just helps having a third person that like isn't really biased towards any person on the team that can provide information. Because after you lose a game, everyone is so heated about things. Everyone thinks they did right and others did wrong. So it helps like a third person. It's like if someone else makes a mistake on the team, it's like hard to criticize them right after a game because they take it bad. But if he does it, it's like he's not under any like, even if people dislike him for that, it doesn't really matter in the end. Like, do you see what I mean? Like,
yeah, they still know that he's right about it because...
Well, yeah, it's just that he has a third person. They can't really hate him about it. So, yeah. But if it's like a player does it, there might be like some inner team shit that happens. So,
cool. Looking at many top-tier teams, especially the Chinese ones, they all have these kind of coaches in the background that help them do this kind of stuff. Do you think this is almost a necessity for teams nowadays?
I think yes, because Dota is so social. It's like it avoids a lot of problems between players. Because I think one of the biggest things is like teams with really good players, they also have really high egos, because that's like a part of being really good. I think you have a lot of confidence. So telling someone they did wrong or they did something wrong is like hard. It's like it helps having someone that's like third person just. So I think that's one of the reasons the Chinese did really well at TI as well. I'm not sure actually, because I know Western teams that had coaches that didn't really do much at TI. I'm not going to say any team names or something, but I don't think the coach impacted them as much as I don't like know the Chinese players well enough to ask them what the coach did or not. Like maybe Newbie's coach helped them out, maybe he really didn't. So it's like hard for me to say.
Okay, but in general, just from your perspective and from your experience with your coach, you would say it's definitely...
Yeah, it's definitely a positive. Everyone appreciates his work.
Cool, cool. Yeah. So Team Tinker is a rather fresh team. Whose idea was it to like just pick up these seemingly random composition of individually high skilled players?
Yeah, I think we like it was after TI4, and me and Quakefoot wanted to play together. Because I thought we did the like we were the best, or not the best, we like had the most dynamic set from Liquid, and we were just thinking about who we'd want to play with. And then I really liked Pycat. Like I always liked him. Like I used to talk to him a lot. He had like I always thought he was really good, even though he didn't have like the best teams. I thought he was like one of the best players, and I thought he fit really well with Quakefoot's playstyle. So on Liquid, I think one of the problems is like TC is a really good player, but both him and Quakefoot have really similar playstyles in a sense. So the team was very passive, and that was one of our drawbacks. Like everyone just wanted to farm, but Pycat is like very an aggressive player, so it helps a lot. And then Sing is like I liked Sing a lot because I know he was hardworking and he makes a lot of plays and stuff, and I didn't think he'd fit well. Then EGM just kind of happened. At first we had Excalibur, and then things didn't really work out because it was like Quakefoot and Excalibur play the same heroes and stuff. And then Sing I just like playing with a lot, and EGM came as well, so that was it.
Cool. I also talked to Quaika about your leadership, or about the drafting role in your guys' team. You guys switched it around a lot. I was Pycat. Pretty much everybody was a drafter at some point. But Quaika mentioned that you probably have the best grasp at the meta in your team right now. So what do you think is the meta about now?
Honestly, it's like I can't really say much because it's like the meta is so team centric. It's like every team has a different sense of a meta. EG is all about their own heroes, Secret's about their heroes, then Chinese teams, it's like I can't really say what our opinion is about the meta because that just says so much about our team and how we're going to play. So it's like I can't really say much.
Oh, that's actually a good statement in itself already, the fact that you just pointed out that basically every team has its own meta. I think so far we've seen many metas where that's like just one trend and everybody followed it, and I think you have a fair point that everybody has their own meta.
You notice like there's no one specific hero that everyone picks their bans. Even DPs, like some teams value it, some teams don't even pick it at all or ban it. Like there's no one hero that everyone values right now.
Yeah, do you think that some heroes are just like sort of leftovers from the past meta, that Skywrath and DP did really well in this meta, we're so used to them that still pick them?
No, I think they just fit so well in specific meta like play styles. Like DP is still very good at pressuring and taking objectives, and that's why EG kind of likes him as well as the Chinese teams. And Terrorblade like Skywrath is like good at early rotations, and I think Skywrath did fall off a little bit, but I still think he has his place in the game. He has he is like one of those supports that just like you can always pick him. It's not like a bad support. It's not a good support. Like not like an amazing support. Actually, I guess he's just like he's not like OP. He's just like there. You can always pick him.
Cool. Talking about the meta, the gold change was a huge factor in the post-TI4 match. It has been tweaked a lot. What was your initial reaction to the gold change, and do you think it's balanced right now?
The initial one was I disliked it quite a bit because as a support player, I love playing like early aggressive, like ganking early game, rotating early game, because I used to play core before, and like playing the passive support style is was really boring for me. Like pulling, stacking, camping, like not being like farming or like out lane, like laning was really fun as playing a core, because like you could practice laning. You'd be 1v1 versus a player, or like 1v3 versus like when I was offlane 1v3 or something. Like you just have to like constantly be thinking like how can I play them. But support is like if you don't play the aggressive kind of roaming support, it's like you have to just sit in the lane, you have to stack, you have to farm, you have to zone. All these things are just really like boring for me. So now that's even like aggressive roaming is like even weaker in my opinion. So it's like I disliked it quite a bit. I still kind of dislike it. I don't like this metagame right now for the supports. I know that later on the game gets more fun for supports because you can get the items up, but early game is just like so stale in my opinion right now for the supports. It's just like the game is all about the cores in my opinion. Like some supports are able to influence the game more than others, but overall the game is about the cores. Even though last patch, I think TI patch was all about the support rotations, but it's hard for me to be so definitive about it, you know.
Yeah, sure.
There's no Dota's not a definitive game. You can't really say one hero is better than that. So it's not a game about really heroes. It's a game about teams and items and map control and stuff like that.
Speaking of items, there's been well, I don't want to call it trend just yet, but there's been a few games where a few supports picked up Midases just because, you know, games tend to go on for a long time right now. Do you think that could become viable again, just Midas gaming?
Depends on the support. I see some supports being, I think like only 2 supports I really know that should go Midas in situations. Crystal Maiden, just because she can farm the jungle and she can get the level 16 up, and Freezing Field is really strong if you can get it off for like 3 or 4 seconds in a team fight, as well as Raid King because he transitioned into a carry. I don't think the Midas is worth it on other supports. I think you just go for those core items, the timing items like Aghanims on most supports right now are really strong. The supports that go Ags I think are like the strongest at the moment. So.
Yeah. Tell us about your daily routine. I think you're going full-time Dota for a year now.
As of December will be a year because I graduated last December.
Oh, okay. So tell us about your daily routine. I mean, now that you're taking so much responsibility, how much time do you spend on analyzing replays, watching games, and how much time do you practice with your team?
There was that phase when I didn't really draft. I didn't spend as much time analyzing because, in my opinion, when you draft, you should be like giving too much input to someone else when they're drafting. Like EGM, when he drafts, he has a different view of the game than I do. So does Sing, so does Pycat, so does Quickfa. So I can give them suggestions, but it's like hard for me to. It's hard for other people to totally like, unless you just totally butt it and give your opinion about it and just not give a shit. But in my opinion, like when someone else is drafting, you should just let them do their thing and maybe give some ideas, examples. So when I was that, I wasn't really. I mean, I was like mostly just watching replays and like focusing on my own like support play. Because in my opinion, support play is like so little about like you can't practice it in pubs and stuff. Just you go like I can't play at all. It's like boring as hell playing support in pubs. So I just like I only play like fun heroes in pub games lately. So support's all about like just knowing, thinking about the game more, and that is something you just do on your own. So it's hard to really prepare for that. But what was it? Like went on some tangent.
Yeah, actually. No, yeah. How does your routine look like now?
So like we just practice every day, and then before the tournaments, we sometimes like I'll go through the replays of the teams that are relevant. At the moment, this game is so much about focusing on your own stuff. It's like you don't really learn from watching another team play. You only just learn like what they're doing, then how to counter it or what to do to inverse it. So that's just about practicing, I think.
When you started as a support, was there anybody you kind of looked out for, like some support player where you were like, oh, I kind of like his style, I want to adapt a few things that he's doing?
I think Chuan. I think he was the most similar to what I was doing. I liked I think it was there was ESL Frankfurt right before TI, and I saw him play, and he gave me a lot of inspiration how he was playing. It was like something that I enjoyed, like playing my offlane. Like I played like Bat Rider, Clockworks, all these like ganking, space making heroes, and then I tried to transition into support, and I saw he was someone that was doing the same with different heroes. He wasn't really playing the same heroes I was, but he was trying to do that for his team, and he was like solo winning them games and stuff. And I wanted to do that, so it was like I think him, as well as I think mostly him actually. He was the one I looked towards the most. So
definitely shout out to Chuan. Well, Bulba, thank you for the interview. The last part is for you. Do you have any shout-outs?
Shout out to Blitz. Shout out to my team. Shout out to our sponsor, 100 TB. And yeah.
Thanks.